If you grew up in an era of pen pals, shell suits, Airwolf, and remember collecting bike reflectors from Kellogg's cereal packs, you'll probably also recall Skodas were shit. That's right, Gen Z people, up until the early 1990s, Skoda had a pretty terrible reputation in the UK, and I can recall quite a few jokes. How do you double the value of a Skoda? Fill its tank with petrol. Why did the Skoda cross the road? To pick up the parts it lost yesterday. What's the difference between a Skoda and a Jehovah's Witness? You can close the door on a Jehovah's Witness. Nowadays, they're regularly churning out £50,000 cars. I mean, that's quite a turnaround in 40 years. Much of that is thanks to Volkswagen. While they're still often seen as a durable, budget-friendly motoring option, their quality is no longer held back by outdated technology, poor handling, and low-cost manufacturing once associated with Eastern Bloc cars. But here's the thing, the Skoda Enyaq Coupe, which we have on test today, shares the same MEB platform, 82 kilowatt-hour battery, and coupe SUV styling as its VW sibling, the ID.5, yet it's actually more expensive. I know, right? It's priced from £46,720 compared with £36,995 for the equivalent VW ID.5. Looks-wise, with cleaner surfaces, fewer unnecessary lines and sharper proportions, it's classic Skoda, but evolved somewhat. So at the front, the big talking point is the new tech deck face, effectively Skoda's reinterpretation of a grille for an EV. It's glossy, wide and clean and integrates sensors and lighting into one smooth panel. And depending on spec, you can get that illuminated. The split headlight setup, slim DRLs up top, main beams lower down, adds a dose of modern aggression and width, whilst the lettering replaces the Skoda badge. Very on trend. Then down the side, you've got a strong tornado line running cleanly through the body, colour-coded side skirts and big aero-optimised wheels, 21 inches in this case, filling the arches, and a sloping roofline that helps with efficiency and obviously gives it the coupe SUV look. Out back, the sharp tear-off edge at the tailgate, signature C-shaped LEDs and diffuser help to lend it a clean stance. All right, let's step inside this Skoda Enyaq Coupe. The first thing that strikes you is how light and airy it feels, thanks to the panoramic glass roof that almost merges into the rear. Then you've got this relatively minimalist dash that's not trying to wow you with screens everywhere and flashy lighting. It's more about creating a space that you actually want to spend time in, even if it is a bit sombre in our test car. Standard items on the entry-level Edition 85 are good, as you'd expect for a car that's almost £47,000. Heated steering wheel, leather seats with massage function for the driver, LED ambient lighting, Wi-Fi hotspot, tri-zone climate control, yada yada yada. Everything feels well screwed together, but not as premium as I'd like at this price point. This might be the coupe version, but there's still plenty of rear headroom despite the sloping roof, and I'm almost 6 foot. And the 570 litre boot is only slightly down on the standard SUV. Then you get all the classic, simply clever Skoda touches, so smart storage everywhere, umbrella, ice scraper, adjustable boot floor, ISOFIX in every seat, minus the driver of course. Skoda's new Travel Assist 2.6 system may be able to offer an even higher level of active and passive safety as well as advanced driver support, but it's not going to allow a child to drive it. Talking of tech, the 13-inch floating touchscreen is the focal point of the whole interior, which controls, well, almost everything. There is a customisable shortcut bar for quick access, and in typical VW Group fashion, yes, a lot of functions, including climate, live inside the screen. But the system has improved. When we reviewed early versions of the Enyaq, it was laggy. The newer software with sharper graphics has made it more responsive, and crucially, Skoda has kept a few physical shortcut buttons, so you're not completely lost in menus. The 85 Edition and 85X Sportline models replace the older 80 and 80X versions, and they are, as you might have guessed, more powerful and efficient, using an updated motor on the rear to produce a top speed of 111 miles per hour. The Edition 85 that we have produces 286 PS and 545 Newton meters of torque, which is more than enough for everyday driving, delivering 0 to 62 in 6.7 seconds. Put your foot down and power delivery is smooth and linear, rather than the brutal in-your-face acceleration of the Tesla Model Y. Step up to the Sportline 85X and you get all-wheel drive for extra traction, and the VRS, that 0 to 62 sprint is going to come down to just over 5 seconds, which is pretty decent in a car of this size. If there is one thing that the Skoda Enyaq Coupe absolutely nails, it's comfort. It smooths out rough surfaces really well, it stays composed over bumps, and on the motorway it just settles into this quiet, relaxed cruise. As long as you're not expecting it to be a bit sharper just because it's a coupe, then you'll be fine. So for example, the steering is accurate but not particularly communicative, and there's some body roll if you really push on. Prioritising stability over excitement, this is not a car that makes you want to go hunting for the corners. Like most EVs, you've got adjustable regenerative braking from coasting to stronger energy recovery. But Skoda has tuned it to feel quite natural rather than overly aggressive. One slight downside, the brake pedal itself feels a bit inconsistent, especially at low speeds. It's a small gripe, but a noticeable one. Battery improvements mean better range too, up to 365 miles. Real-world tests in varied driving show roughly 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour to over 4.2 in optimal scenarios, which sounds about right judging by my week with it. It will take 29 minutes to charge, and you can knock 4 minutes off that for the VRS version, but I reckon you'll be stopping more regularly if you've got a heavy right foot. You can't tell jokes about Skodas anymore because, well, they're good, very good. Last year, Skoda was Europe's third best-selling car brand, and it ranked 4th among EV manufacturers, driven by strong demand from the Enyaq and the Enyaq family. It surprised me that the Skoda Enyaq was priced in its VW equivalent, and that's hard to ignore if your budget is tight. And given both cars share the same EV platform and motors, performance and tech are broadly comparable. However, if you do have more money, there are a few reasons why you might choose the Enyaq. Inside it feels better finished than the ID.5, although I do feel it could be more premium for the price. It is also roomier and more comfortable, and it offers slightly better range and efficiency. Just remember, it's not trying to be the most exciting EV you can buy, it's trying to be one of the easiest to live with. I'd highly recommend this for buyers who want a relaxed, refined, electric SUV coupe with real-world usability, but skip it if all you want is the best price or the most aggressive design for your money. It's the kind of EV that grows on you, which is pretty good endorsement in a world of half-baked electric SUV coupes. Maybe it is time to update some of the most memorable Skoda jokes. Here's one. How do you double the price of a Skoda? Buy every item on the option list. Yeah, no, it's not really funny, is it? Sorry. Hopefully you enjoy my reviews a lot more. If you do, please like, subscribe, all the usual bullshit. Thanks for watching.